Wow, I can't believe this. I'm not feeling great, so no long ride this weekend. But I had to come out because the weather off is cold, and they said it's going to be the first Sunday with the sun shining in the sky in 64 years. So yes, I had to take the advantage and get out on the road. So I'm out for a local ride, nothing crazy, maybe coffee and something to eat at Giro Cafe. But also the main aim of today's video is to talk again about bike fit, but not from a measurement point of view or any settings on the bike, but I want to talk about a maybe even more important aspect that is very rarely touched on other videos on YouTube that you can find. You guys know how much I love bike fitting. I always want to improve my position on the bike, finely tuning even to the millimeters here and there, because I started this process straight away from my first road bike, and I think it's essential to get the most power and the best comfortable position on your bicycle. But at the same time, I actually highlighted some major flaw in the bike fitting process, and it's more difficult to recognize, but nevertheless extremely important for your ultimate success. And the problem is all down to the adaptations that your body does, which is possibly the greatest ability of our bodies in terms of how to adapt to different conditions, but at the same time could be an enemy for us to reach the best position on the bike. Cyclists that do have bike fit at the beginning of their career, or they never changed since they started cycling, seem to be the happiest. Even if you don't have the best pedal motion, the best power transfer, the body is capable to adapt. And even if you cycle, I don't know, with toes pointing down or with your cleats far forward, and very rarely those cyclists go for a bike fit during their time. Where cyclists have an injury or something that doesn't work, they want to find more power, go through a bike fit during their cycling career, that's where the most risk lies. And I've seen so many of my friends going through the best bike fitters, coming out not really happy, and most of the times coming back to the previous settings. Clearly you can see that the position has improved. You can measure the new position being more efficient. You do have pressure pads on the saddle, all the angles, all the tools, but somehow they're not happy. There is almost a process where your body is trying to reject the bike fit, even though it's the correct one, even though the new position is more functional for your body, will cause less injuries, but still your body doesn't recognize it as the usual pattern that you have forced it to do previously on your bike. I have had friends that felt great in the studio while doing the adjustments, got back on a long ride and pain everywhere, and they didn't feel comfortable, they couldn't express power, because again it is down to the hard wiring of the previous position that your body still won't leave behind. And I feel lucky in a way, because I started looking at my position, measuring on the road in terms of my improvements on the times, on the segments I used to do over and over again, even though I never went to a proper bike fit. So then you might want to cancel everything I said so far. But I believe that the same principle applies. So if you do listen to your body and do everything gradually, I believe you will be able to better adapt progressively your position, fine-tuning it more and more over again, rather than having a big shock with a huge change from the previous setup. Of course, the professional bike fitter, the experienced one, will recognize these issues and make the relevant adjustment for you not to have too much of an impact between the old and the new position. Yes, it's true that you should always trust the professionals, go by their advice, leave it to the pros. Maybe the best bike fitter in the world put you in the fantastic position, but only you can really understand what's happening with the pedals, with the pressure on the sole of your foot, on the saddle. There will be always a degree of self-adjustment needed in every bike fit that you do. Yes, to me, this passage is often missed and has to be part of the process to reach the most efficient position. If you go to a bike fit, I would say you need to learn and research the key facts that makes you faster on the road. Then with a bike fit, you can discuss the best strategy and maybe go in the right direction in a very progressive way, as an ongoing process rather than a spot adjustment. At the end of the day, it's a bike fitter, it's not a magician. It's only got a couple of hours for the session and maybe a follow-up to put you on a bike, while your body mostly changes every time. One day you could be stiffer, another day a little bit more flexible on the muscles. The bike fitter can only do so much and the rest is down to you. It's your responsibility. So to me, the best approach would be to take control of this process, no matter what stage you are. If you are an experienced cyclist that had a bike fit recently, or if you're doing your first bike fit, I believe that knowledge in how to pedal, how to get the best power, it's always important for you to interpret the changes that the bike fitter would apply. And especially if you are an experienced cyclist and want to get the best performance, to avoid the risk of the rejection process, definitely you need to listen to your body, learn the sensation that you should have from the best position, and try to critically apply to the expert advice that you have received. So bike fitting is great, but if you do interpret the process rather than the spot adjustment, it will be really better. The more you learn to listen to your body in conjunction with your bike fitter, the best result to me could come up for your cycling. And you can tell even the professionals, the younger professionals, are adjusting bit by bit the position. They're not afraid of change, and they are, yes, experimenting different saddle tilt, different crank lengths. So it is definitely an ongoing process to find your best performance. Guys, let me know in the comments if you had a bike fit and you didn't find it useful, or maybe you had to make some adjustments. The risk of the body rejecting the new adjustments is there, and it needs to be taken into consideration. The bike fitter can do so much, the rest is down to you. It's your responsibility. Develop an interest and learn the different setup, reaching the best out of your cycling. Guys, thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.